Hey guys, working on a Volkswagen Mk1 Rabbit Golf Cabriolet. We're changing the lower control arm in today's video. Very detailed, and this is very easy, guys. Let's get into it right away. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, obviously, lift up your car safe, jack stands, extra boards, wheels, whatever. Make sure it doesn't fall on you. In my situation, I am actually changing everything here, but in this video, I will show you how to change the lower control arm, including the ball joint, which is on it. Okay, so first thing you got to do, guys, is you got to remove the brake caliper, and you got to take the brake hose out here. Mine's broken. I'm replacing all of this, but take it off, put it over here, and hang it off your spring with like a wire. How do you take it off? Very, very easy, guys. You need an Allen key like this. This one is a 1/4 inch. And see right over here, look, you got 2 Allen keys. One there, one there. So you're gonna put this in like this, get a hammer, get it in there. It should be metric, so a metric size will probably work too, but in my case, this is all rusted, and I just want to make sure it comes out. There. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one and the second one. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, now that both of these are out, might have to put a screwdriver in here and pry this open, but see, that just comes out. So you're just going to hang it up here. That way you don't have to disconnect the hose or just cut. So I'm just removing it. Okay, next, there is this bracket here. This is a GTI bracket. It has this extra piece. The non-GTIs don't have that. I'm actually putting the non-GTI on here in the future so I can put rims on, because the problem is, see, it's hard to get a rim without rubbing, but the non-GTI, this part's not even here. So just letting you know, very simple solution for that. Anyways, so back here, you got a 15 mil. Grab yourself a ratchet, a 15 mil, and you're gonna remove both of those, guys. And yes, I am restoring this entire extremely damaged car, just so everybody knows. I'm taking on the challenge, guys. I got videos start to finish on this thing, so check out the playlist. I completely rewelded the floor. I'm literally fixing every single component on this Mk1 Rabbit Golf Cabriolet. This one's a diesel too. Okay, pulling off that bracket. Okay, so the bracket, see, just comes off like that. Okay, so now our next move here, guys, is some of these have a sway bar. The sway bar goes across and it bolts up here, so you have to unscrew the stabilizer sway bar links. Some of them don't have it. This one doesn't have it, so we're obviously skipping that part because we don't have one. If you had it, that would be your next move. So now, guys, look right here. You got a 17 mil on this side and one on this side. See, it's like a nut and bolt. So what we got to do is we got to remove that. So, okay, let's start doing that, because we're going to be separating this ball joint here from the bearing, right? Okay, I straightened the wheels. So yeah, I forgot to mention. So we're going to pull the rotor off just so it's out of the way. So you got to get yourself one of these. You got to get a big size. See, there is, see, one of these there. So you put that in there. You get a hammer and you hammer it in really, really good. The hammering action kind of loosens it. If it doesn't want to go, you can spray WD-40 over it. You can even heat it up with a little plumber's blowtorch, but this will come off. Okay. Boom, cut it off. Okay, so this is the GTI rotor. This is the non-GTI rotor. They are the same size, but as you can see, it's skinnier. The pads also fit, but they're thicker. These pads are thicker, these ones. These ones are skinnier to make up for the difference of this. I know this is unrelated to what we're doing, but you know what? If you're curious about how to convert GTI to non-GTI, click on the playlist, find the brake video. Anyways, moving on from the brakes. All right, so now, since I am restoring this whole car, see all this crap on here? So obviously I'm gonna grab a little chisel, a little hammer, and I'm gonna go all around and I'm cleaning all of this, you know, so it can look nice. Like I want it to look good. So I'm gonna do that. That's unrelated to what we're doing, and then we're moving on to that. But like this is how you make things look good. The bearing is good, I checked it. There's no play in it. Check out the other side. I mean, this is what it's going to look like. See, look. Chiseled, cleaned. I did lots here, non-GTI brakes. Tons of room now, see? To put a nice rim on. I got video on how to put this thing together. Video on CV axle. All right, so I'm gonna do that. See you guys in about 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, it's nice and clean and chiseled. I will paint it later. I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so now, 217s, right? Let's get this bolt out. One on one side, one on the other. If you have to heat it up or something with a little torch, if it's stuck, put WD-40 on it, whatever. Okay, let's do it. One on this side, one on this side. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little tough, but it's coming. Okay, see you guys in a minute when it's all the way off. Yeah, it's coming. I'm gonna spray WD-40 on it too. Okay, so it feels like it's gonna break. So what you do is you put WD-40 on it. You reverse your ratchet. And now what you do is you screw it all the way back in. See, look. Yeah. See, now it's going easy. Screw it in all the way. Reverse your ratchet. WD-40. Spray it. And now screw it back out. And each time that you do that, it's going to go easier and further without breaking any bolts, guys. That's how you prevent breaking bolts. See, now it's getting a little hard. Yeah. One more. Okay, see, now I'm going to take it off. Spray WD-40 on it. Screw it all the way back in. Spray WD-40 out, each time going further. Okay, I'll see you guys in probably 3-4 minutes. That's all it's going to take for that to come all the way out without breaking it. Okay, I got it out. So now, I got it to spin, but obviously it's hard to get it out, right? You don't want to hit it with a hammer because then you'll damage your threads. It is spinning. So the trick is you get yourself a nut. See, I got a nut here. I used it on the other side. Same size nut as that one, but you don't want to wreck that nut either. See, you're going to screw this on, right? So screw it on a bit. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then you grab a hammer and you're going to hit it with a hammer on one side. And as you're hitting it, you're going to be turning this. Get it? Eventually it'll move. So I'm going to do that. It's pretty straightforward. See you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so that totally worked. Then you can stick a screwdriver in there and tap it or whatever. And there it is. So I got it out. I am going to have to replace this bolt because look, it is really chewed up here. The thread's missing basically. So I'm going to have to go to a bolt store and replace it. No big deal. Okay, we're moving on to separating the ball joints. So I'm going to turn the wheels all the way to one side. See you guys in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to be separating this. There's basically two ways of doing it. One way is you get a jack. See, and you put it right on here. Not on here. You support this. So watch. I'm going to get the jack under there. There, see, look. Okay, so it's up. So now you grab yourself a decent sized hammer like this And you're just gonna hit it right here. And it should pop out. So that's way number one. And if you're reusing your control arm, then that's probably the way you want to do it, so you don't wreck anything. If you're replacing it and you don't care about it, you can get one of these tools, a ball joint separator. You put it in here, you hit it with a hammer, and that will separate it as well. So, and then you don't even need the jacket. Okay, I'll try the hammer way first. If I'm having a hard time, then I'll use this. There it goes. Okay, so obviously this ball joint needs to be replaced. It's all rusted. Anyways, so you're gonna clean this super good, get rags, cleaning all the little holes, everything. Like, you want everything to be spotless. So obviously I'm gonna do that, but first we are gonna remove this control arm. So right here you got a 19 mil, you know, get a big ratchet. So unbolt that. You might have to do the WD-40 trick. Spray W40 on there, screw it out a little bit, screw it in, back and forth, back and forth. You do not want to break that bolt. You could even heat it up with a torch right there, like a plumber's blowtorch, if that's all you got. Okay, I'm gonna start removing that. Okay, so in my case, it's actually going very easy. Okay, so I'm gonna get that out. See you guys in a minute. All right, so when we are putting this back together, I'm gonna put bearing grease on all of this and stick it in. I don't want anything to rust in the future and that. Also, I'll show you a very important thing on these Volkswagens. Like, they obviously, if you probably know this, they all rot out right here. This whole thing rots out. So I will show you how to prevent that from rusting in this video still, so stay tuned. There is a way where you can make it 100% solid, it'll never rust. Okay, anyways, so we get this out. So that's ready to come out. You're gonna clean this before you put it back in. We're reusing it. Okay, so over here, you got a 15 mil and another 15 mil. Just gonna get a ratchet, put it on there, unscrew both of those, put WD-40 on them, in and out if you have to. And once you do that, this control arm will drop. See, just like this. And I mean, I had all this out already because when I was doing all the rusted floor repairs, as you can see how nice it looks, I took this out and I just moved it out. Okay, so I'll see you guys when both of these are out, guys. And then I'll show you what to do. Like, there's still a few steps on this, on the new control arm you gotta do. But we're close. All right, guys, I got both those off. So now the control arm will just come right off. The only thing is, look, I took all this out because I'm changing everything, but that doesn't matter. Just keeping you guys posted. Okay, so you pull this out with both your hands, which I'm not doing. Okay, I'll show you what you gotta do to the other one, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna obviously order some parts, put all this back together, and then I'll show you how to put this back on. So I'll see you guys later on. Okay, so here is the old control arm. So you gotta pull this off. You are reusing this. Any rust that was on it, I chiseled it away and I threw some paint on it just to make it look nice. Okay, let me grab the new control arm. Okay, here is the new control arm. So when you're putting this control arm on, see this part? See, what you don't want is when you put it on, you don't want this sitting like this. See? So what you gotta do is, you might have to get a screwdriver and pry it back, but you want this part to go back. You'll have to go underneath of the car and figure out where. So you might have to bring it back like that much. So that way when this is attached, it's actually sitting, see, like this. You don't want it like half on the rubber. So that's number one, okay? The second thing is, I have seen this before, guys. So the ball joint itself, see, on the bottom of the ball joint, these ball joints are attached with screws, with like nuts and bolts, see? So I grabbed my welder and I just tacked them, see? tack, tack, tack. I've actually seen these get loose. So good idea to do that. I am gonna throw some black paint on it after. But one little tack each. So that's the second thing you gotta do. And the third thing on these guys, a lot of times, okay, I find there's barely any grease inside of these. So if you don't have grease nipples and you can't grease this ball joint, guys, what I do is I pull this thing off and I remove this whole little boot. It's a little tricky. You gotta be careful not to break it. I pull this little boot off, I grab some nice clean bearing grease, and I fill that, and then I put the boot back on. It can be tricky, so I mean, do that at your own risk, but I'll pull it off and I'll show you. So I'm gonna do that right now, pull this boot off. All right, so see, it's not the worst. I've seen worse, but so I got some multi-purpose bearing grease, brand new. I keep one brand new one always for things like this. So you can get some, and that will prevent any moisture from going in there. It will keep it absolutely perfect, see? So I load it up like that. I always prefer the ones with grease nipples, but sometimes they're hard to get. There. See? Now we're gonna put the boot back on. And this is like optional, right? I mean, you do what you gotta do. I like my things to last. Okay, and then you just put this thing back on. It can be tricky. All right, see, just like that, she's on nice. Okay, this thing is ready to be reinstalled. All right, Volkswagen buddies. Okay, I cleaned everything up nice. This is brand new, so I installed that. I'm still gonna put this in, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the main thing is, see this, I even painted that. So I'm gonna put, obviously, this into this. So let me do that, it just slides right in there. Okay, see what I mean? Okay, so now, one thing that I did is this hole here, see for the ball joint? I got some brake cleaner and I cleaned it really good. I got a rag, see, look from underneath. See, it's nice and clean. You don't want any crap in there. So I did that. Okay, we're gonna install this now. So obviously that goes there. You know, this goes in there. And this goes in there, right? But before we do that, remember how I told you I'm going to show you how to make this part never rust on these cars, which these rot out, then the car's garbage. So I'll show you. So look right in here. It's literally the only spot you can get to it. Right up there, there is a little hole. And through that little hole, see that? Can you see it? You can get right inside of this and you can spray oil in there. If you fill this thing with engine oil, bar oil for chainsaws, or even like rust check oil, which is really expensive, this will never rust. So I'm gonna fill that right now and I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, so this right here is a rust proofing gun. You can get one of these on Amazon. They're like $70, right? And what you do is you fill it with oil and you hook it up to a compressor at 80 PSI. And it basically shoots oil out. And it shoots it really far. Like it'll shoot it from like here all the way to that plug-in. Just like a big stream of oil. I do heat it up sometimes, the oil, before I pour it in. Or you can dilute it with like Varsol or paint thinner a little bit. So it's liquidier. Okay, I'm not gonna do it because it's loud and it's messy and I gotta record. But I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm just not gonna record it. Okay, let me go show you. Oh, okay, see? So I would have this hooked up. I would use both my hands, press the trigger, and it shoots the oil out. So you would take this thing, see? And you stick it right in there. Look how good it goes in. Look. So you can put it right inside of there. So then I'll go psh, right? And then I'll turn it like to face it upwards. So I'll put it in there and I'll face it like this. Psh, and I'll shoot right up there. See, it's not a big deal. So, I mean, if you do that, this thing will never ever, so you can get it right in there. You can fill this with oil, that with oil, and that will prevent it from rusting. If you do that, that's what it will do. Okay, I'm moving on to putting on the control arm, but I am gonna rust-proof this right now, off camera. All right, guys, we're almost done here. Okay, so this, you can tighten all the way as long as that rubber thing is straight, the rubber bushing, you can tighten that. Just nice and snug and tight. As far as this front bolt though, you can put it in all the way, but don't tighten it. What you have to do is, once you got your wheel on and your car is lowered, then you tighten it. You can't tighten it now because then when you put the car down, it'll stretch the bushing. So that's that. And as far as the ball joint goes, so look, got a nice brand new nut and bolt. So that's gonna go in there. You're gonna put it in, put the nut on and tighten it. I will give you the torque specs in a sec. I am using a piece of wood here to lift it up because the shock is out. If you had your shock in, you would use a car jack to get it in, right? And then you can put your bolt in. So I'm gonna put that bolt in, I'm gonna tighten it, and I'll give you the torque specs. So see you guys in a minute. All right, it is on. So, torque specs, right? But before we do the torque specs, remember, I got a video on every single component here. I got a video on the inner tie rods, outer tie rods, you know, the drive shaft, CV joint, the control arm, which you just watched. This is an entire restoration, guys, of a Volkswagen Rabbit. Mk1, there it is. How sexy is that? This is what it's going to look like, guys. So make sure you check out the whole entire series on the restoration, start to finish, guys. All right, as far as the torque specs go, this is an amazing book. If you have one of these cars, you got to get one. There it is, guys. Steering knuckle to ball joint, clamp nut, bolt nut. 75 to 79 is 22 foot-pounds. Seems kind of light. And then 1980 and up is 37 foot-pounds, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have the world's smallest garage, and I do the most in it. You guys would not believe the cars that I have built. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to do anything for me, guys, as a favor, please go to Facebook, Problem Solver Garage, and follow me on there. And I'm also on Instagram trying to build up on that. Thanks for watching. Till next time.